All right, thanks, Tanner. Devastating hurricane makes landfall in the U.S., plus a dramatic boat rescue as a man is stranded in the ocean in another part of the country. They're all a part of this morning's 10 Things You Need to Know. Hurricane Harvey makes landfall overnight from being a Category 4 storm to now being a Category 1. But the winds, they're still strong, like this area near Corpus Christi, Texas, where they reached up to 130 miles an hour. It's still dangerous. Thousands are without power and many structures are down as first responders are starting to get a closer one at the damage this morning.
We will more than likely see prices going up anywhere from 10 cents to 30 cents just because of the disruptions that this hurricane has already caused.
Some worry that the storm will drive up fuel costs across the country. It's too early to tell the long-term impact of Harvey, but you have to think about the oil refineries and so much more in terms of how it will affect us coast to coast. Experts say, though, you should not panic and you should fuel up like you normally would. Take a look at this. A big rig left its bucket raised, sending a sign right down and crushing into that truck. Fellow drivers were trying to warn the trucker. We're waiting to hear more details on the driver's condition this morning.
Looked him in the eyes and I said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "Thank God you guys could see me." And I said, "No worries." I put the flotation around him. I said, "Are you hurt?" He said, "No, I'm not hurt. I'm okay. I'm a little bit cold."
A California man, he is lucky to be alive after this dramatic rescue at sea. The man, he had fallen off of a boat and into the Pacific Ocean. The Sheriff's Department and the Coast Guard, they were able to send out a helicopter and get that 28-year-old to safety. Workers removed a memorial honoring Confederate women in Kansas City. Now, it was built in 1934. The monument was recently targeted by vandals, even though the city was already considering relocating it. And the United Daughters of Confederacy agreed to move it to prevent further vandalism. Hey, I do want to warn you that this next story may be a little hard to watch. A school is making a decision on a cheer coach after a controversial video surfaces online. Okay, so this video from June shows a high school cheer coach forcing a girl into a split. Now, a Denver school says it has fired the coach behind it. Despite the girl's cries, the coach and others force her into doing the split. She cries for several times in the short video. Police have opened a child abuse investigation. 4 other district employees have been placed on leave. Parents who fell behind on their child support had a chance to get back on track yesterday. It was Amnesty Day in Sedgwick County, and that means the warrants and penalties for parents behind on child support payments, they were waived for that day. Last year's event collected more than $20,000 in back child support. More than 200 dogs given a second chance at life. These pets were going to be euthanized in Puerto Rico, where overcrowding at shelters is a big issue. The dogs come from an area that's infamous for abandoned and abused pets, and that area is actually dubbed Dead Dog Beach. The abandoned canines, they were brought here to the U.S. where they will be adopted out. Hey, future astronauts could turn their pee into nutrients and plastics. NASA says urine, along with the microbes and a 3D printer, could help make plastic in the future. The International Space Station has already got 2 3D printers, and this could be necessary in trips to Mars. NASA says astronauts already drink their own recycled urine aboard the ISS. A cat, take a look at this, gets to run around for the first time. Take a look at Earl here. He was born with a paralyzed couple of back legs, and a community in Michigan, they've come together to design a wheelchair for Earl. It was created with the help of a 3D printer, and now Earl will be able to get around without having to drag his legs. I'm sure it's probably helped him a lot with improving his quality of life. Hey, if you have more things that you'd like to see in our 10 Things You Need to Know segment, go ahead and send it to us on Facebook or email us at news@kake.com.